So fragile, like it was built to break.
In coach, what's going on, man? Dyson stream activated. Ready to go. Thanks for the sub. Mr. Anonymous, man. It's crazy. Subbing and subbing. Thank you. Montana, what's up, dude? I don't understand how your name's allowed on Twitch. Pretty good. Yo, what's happening? If you when Romdale comes out, when this volatility trade works out. Yeah, dude, honestly, I was I was talking to Marky about it a couple of days ago, and I tried to get into swaps and shit, and it was the most confusing shit I'd ever seen. I don't understand how anybody has any money in it. Well, I do understand it, but nevertheless, it's not fucking user friendly at all. Let's get into it. All right, I hope everybody is doing well, having an awesome start to your Tuesday morning. Let's take a look here. Welcome. Before we begin, a couple of disclaimers. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I'm just a trader trading my own shit. For all the tools I'll be using, they can be found on the bapigindicator.com website. These guys make the best mathematics-based indicators on TradingView. They also have a lot of free stuff available, so check them out. They can significantly increase your probability of actually making a profit. And because they're math-based, not TA-based, you know, you can get all the arbitrary shit off of your chart. There's a referral link in the description of the stream. There's also a link for our Discord. Come hang out, come participate, and add something to the team. Awesome. I think that's about everything I want to say on that. Let's take a look here at the market. Laplace your foss. Exactly. Exactly. And that's the market open. All right, we'll take a look at that in just 1 second. Yeah, apologies for the late start today. Where do we want to begin? Let's take a look at the indices first, as we usually do. Shit with statistical significance, exactly. All right, how's Australia doing? Okay, Australia's still pretty positive here. We see entropy ticking up here. Let me just quiet the music down a little bit more here. Hear myself think. Okay, perfect. Australia entropy is actually got a tick up today, so suggesting, hey, it's getting a little bit more random. I wonder if I look at this as a line instead of... Yeah, it is now pointing up, suggesting, hey, it's getting more random. It can go lower. I do have the 95 filter set on there, like that. Ooh, visuals. The one thing on the Australia market, which is very similar to a lot of markets right now, is that the HVP is very low. This was actually the bet that we were suggesting, or no, I was looking at taking yesterday on Bitcoin is HVP printing zeros. Expect higher volatility in the near future. We have very, very similar dynamics to that in a lot of world indices, I think, including S&P 500. We'll take a look at that in just 1 second. Entropy looks like it's coming to an end. We have to wait a little bit for it to tick up a bit more to make it more conclusive. Anything else we want to say on Australia? SSR is outside of the top band here. It is now moving back into some sort of mean reverting move. All right, let's take a look at Germany 30. Germany still moving up. Wow, powerful ECB market. Doesn't have too much room on the SSR, but still pointed up, still within the band. Nice. Very positive on the MOM here. And entropy now ticking down, suggesting, hey, much less random. Your tools are much more likely to work in this area. Also sharing that very low volatility, very low HVP metric with the rest of the world. Let's take a look at Russia. Russia had increasing volatility, trending down. The new XCM tool gave you not a short, but a bearish signal here, suggesting that, hey, this might be a good place to reduce your cost basis if you're in this market at 1855. We're now at 1773 with HVP still increasing, likely to continue increasing for the near future. This is not at any sort of max or anything like that. Let's see, anything else here? No, and SSR right in the middle. MOEX, how's MOEX doing? Yeah, Moek's in a very similar stance. Where's the bouncer on this? Bouncer coming in very, very low. Sorry, give me 1 second. Fresh the cone. Yeah, if some of these markets they want to dump, they do have quite a lot of room. I mean, price is random; it can go literally anywhere. What's within the probabilities? 34.56 and lower if you give it more time. Similarly, 53.73 if you give it more time as well. Not too good of a stance for the Russian markets right now. Not too good of a stance. Mom is negative, although SSR is suggesting it's some sort of mean reversion, so maybe that will give us a start of something new shortly here. Let's take a look at UK. Again, very low HVP. Expect volatility in the near future. For all of the occurrences that I looked at on Bitcoin, the first little block of volatility came in within 30 to 45 days, and it continued expanding over the course of 120, 190 days. So it can take quite a bit of time. From the due perspective, this is still suggesting that hey, it's still go to the beach mode here. You're still above the bouncer. Everything's still looking good, but this can hit quite significantly. So if you're participating in these markets, might not be such a bad idea to buy some insurance on your positions. Let's take a look at China. Oh, look at that. Look at that, right on the bouncer line. Perfect. Declining volatility here, probably continues to decline for the time being. Unlikely that we see any sort of intense move. The thing to pay attention to on China is the SSR. It's now outside of the bottom band on the daily here. If we begin a new move, which we're very likely to do here in the near future, pay attention to the MOM. Pay attention to your direction and pay attention to volatility as well. HSI. Nice move up on the HSI. HSI is in a much more bear stance here. This is not a hold it and go to the beach mode at all. This is actually below the bouncer. And is that decreasing as price is moving up? It does seem so. It does seem like the bouncer is decreasing. The due line is decreasing as price is moving up. That doesn't suggest too good of things here, especially as you're moving up in price with the SSR moving up nice, but you're now getting close to the outside of the band. When you start putting all these things together, mom being a little bit mom getting a high reading with a potential for a cross in the near future, and SSR coming to the outside of the band, you're below the bouncer. This doesn't look too good so far. Let's see if we can make it over the top, and then we can participate in that market again. All right, Japan 225. We were suggesting, hey, likely to get lower volatility in the near future. You're now getting that, likely to continue. I don't have a sense of direction on this market from the due perspective. It's buy it and go to the beach mode. In the immediate future, I would just want to bet on lower volatility. You do have entropy ticking down now as well. Let's see if there's anything significant that happens on that over the course of the next couple of days or so. The SSR is outside of the band here, so this immediate move is unlikely to persist in this fashion, likely to get some sort of mean reversion in the near future. Nikkei, wow, it's the first time that the HVP hasn't loaded. What's going on, TradingView? Nikkei, very similar stance. False HVP cooling off. SSR is pointed up here. Actually has some room to go on it. I would be positive on this. I would actually be positive on this. Probably lower volatility in the future with some sort of drift to the upside as long as the XCM remains light blue here. I did change the color settings just so that it kind of matches everything visually. But that's just positive, whereas the what would you call this color? Magenta? I don't know. This purplish color would be negative. Let's take a look at the US indices. How are they doing today? Dow Jones having a nice start to the day. Entropy still moving on down. HVP now printing zeros. Okay, so we saw this with Bitcoin, and with volatility now coming in. You know, last week we were extremely positive on these markets, especially as entropy started ticking down. You know, you started to see the move up happening. With this volatility rate, no, HVP is not directional. I really want to stress that. I think I stress that every single time. But hopefully people know that HVP is not a directional tool. It is a timing tool. This would suggest that we're going to see higher volatility in the near future. If you are long on the US markets, I think it would be reasonable to protect yourself against volatility in both directions. If you're a volatility trader, this is a pretty decent setup for you, as it was for me on Bitcoin yesterday. Well, and we're gonna cover that in just a little bit here. This can come in either direction, but I would really want to stress that, hey, it might be a good time to buy some insurance if you're just spot long. S&P 500, very similar stance. Entropy ticking down further, suggesting, hey, your tools are going to have pretty good impact here. MOM is negative, but the R squared on it is very low, suggesting that, hey, this is not a very good fit. We're kind of seeing that as the market is moving on upwards, and again, very low volatility here. Sorry for harping on this, but likely this is where the opportunity is over the course of the next 3 or so months, is correctly capturing this volatility. If you're a trader, if you're a guy that just holds assets, it's likely a decent time to protect yourself. You know, you're gonna have to look at IV and stuff like that, but just be very wary of this, because as we saw in Bitcoin, you know, a bunch of people did end up getting liquidated. Something I really want to stress on the weekly as well that I spotted, we're way outside of the SSR band here on the weekly. We haven't had too many of these occurrences in the past. It doesn't suggest reversal right here right now. It would just suggest, hey, this kind of behavior that we were seeing here of you know, candles to the upside, to the upside, to the upside, is likely now coming to an end, or we should at least assume that it will be coming to an end in the near future. And we're gonna see probably some sort of mean reverting move from the last couple of times that this has occurred outside of the band. We did end up getting higher prices, but we never ended up seeing that kind of behavior. You know, you saw some sort of mean reversion with down up moves, and then we had the Corona dump. I'm not suggesting that the Corona dump is going to happen. Hey, look at that. The do. Powerful do. The ZMA on MOM has crossed up too, I think. Okay, yeah, let's take a look at that. I'm not suggesting that the Rona dump is going to happen. I'm just suggesting that, hey, we could see some volatility here. All of these things are kind of lining up. You did end up getting across on the MOM, although the R square has gone very, very low. HVP very low for a weekly. It can persist like this for quite a while. I would just really want to be hedged volatility here, to be honest. I think, you know, as a trader, one of the few things that we can bet on is a mean reverting indicator, and there aren't very many, because price isn't mean reverting. RSI is just fucking stupid. but volatility is very, very reliable from that sense, because it is one of the only things that we can really bet on. It's very difficult to capture, because it usually means that you have to bleed premium of some sort. But I think that's where the opportunity is. And I think that was the right move to make yesterday on Bitcoin too, which let's actually take a look at it. Bitcoin having a pretty decent sell-off in the morning, or I guess it's really early morning. Lifelong gamma. In the early morning hours, we ended up reaching the second expected move, or just about. So yesterday I wasn't confused, but I was just attempting to think through of what's the best way to capture this, because, you know, all of the probabilities were suggesting we're gonna move up, but it doesn't mean that you know, the smaller horse can't win, right? Like because the probabilities are skewed to the upside, it doesn't mean that downside can't happen. It just has a low chance of occurring. We did end up getting that today, and I think the bet on just volatility was the right move. I think that we are likely to continue expanding the HVP over the course of the next at least 45 time your vol underdog. Yeah, exactly. I think this is likely to continue expanding over the next 45 120 days. As we've seen it in the past, we've had about 12 occurrences of zero volatility on Bitcoin. It doesn't mean that you know, it hasn't been low. It is kind of relative too, right? Like when you get big blocks on the weekly, for example. By the way, I think this is the highest HVP print Bitcoin has ever had on a weekly. I don't know. You know, most people are expecting Bitcoin to get less volatile over the course of its lifetime. You know, the further out you go, the higher the price, the less volatile it gets. That's kind of not what the HVP is saying. The HVP is kind of getting more volatile, but anyways, maybe that's a discussion for another time. It is a bit relative. That's where we can use the HVZ to really kind of get more context to volatility. There's the Marxulator as well too. There's actually a bunch of tools to get you more context to the market. On a relative basis and also on an absolute basis, this is a pretty damn low read, and I think I you know, as the new banner suggests, that's going to be the big boy trade for me over the next 45 or so days. Yeah, we're going to keep track of it. I think the thing now for me is to not fuck with it, because you know, I do essentially just want to be long assets. I want to be long in like a basket of things. So it's going to be a little bit difficult, but I think if I hold this through 45 days, we'll be profitable, and I'll share that with you for the future streams. Elon selling his Tesla stock. People don't think he's going to dump his BTC and Doge. Yeah, I don't know. There's like a bunch of shit with that where apparently he announced it a long while ago, actually, that you know, he was going to sell it, and then there's this theory that he's just using the Twitter poll to give himself cover, essentially. Yeah, fun things to look into. Let's see if he pays the tax on it. I think World Economic Forum or whatever, the fucking one of the charities came up with a plan for him to spend all that money too, so it should be pretty interesting. All right, Piton and Toner, let's take a look. Peloton, this is the stationary bike company that everybody fucking went nuts over, right? Yeah, massive down open. This is what, this daily? Yeah, this is a daily. Massive down open. Oh no, not down open. When was this? This was a couple of days ago. HEP is extremely high here. I'm assuming you're at some sort of extreme improbabilities as well. If you wanted to trade this, now would probably be the time to add some to your portfolio. Let me just take a look, see at 15 bars back. Yeah, you're outside of the 1% probability here on the daily. You don't get too many of those. Let's see if we can get it to 0.1. Yeah, you were actually outside of the 0.1% probability here. HVP extremely high. HVZ has cooled off here with the price going slightly lower. I think this is a decent add for the time being. I'm not suggesting that you're gonna see, you know, higher prices in the future. It's going to the moon, whatever. We have to wait for the due to kind of confirm that. But just as a trade from a probabilities perspective, probably a decent trade on your hands here. I can come up with a plan for him to spend that money too. True. Mom just went green, waiting for due. Bezos Musk 1 2 point. Yeah, the due and mom combination is extremely powerful. Just going off probabilities perspective here, you probably have a decent trade as just like a little scalp here. I don't know if that's mostly done or not, but but you probably see something. Just because the HVP read is pretty damn high, I don't think you end up going lower on this. But hey, things don't move because of words. All right, let's take a look at Toner. The cone. Okay, the cone got me on this one. All right. All right. Quite a random market here from an entry perspective. Nice occurrence on the dew though. Nice occurrence on the dew. This is an ad and go to the beach. This is mom's positive, dew is positive. Moving on up. As long as those things persist, I would just want to be holding this long. Nice occurrence. Well done. Couple of things I wanted to look at on my end were the pod stocks. How are they doing today? Still fighting with the dew here. Hopefully they can make it over. I did end up adding to this sector. I will be perfectly willing to dump it if this reverses back down below the dew. CGC kind of fighting with it. Tilray above it. Nice, so I can just forget about managing Tilray for the time being. Perfect. All right, let's take a look at oh, actually, speaking of the bouncer and the dew, the US dollar index is now in a buy and forget about it mode. This could spell some trouble for assets, which is kind of, it kind of lines up if we end up seeing volatility come into the S&P 500, the Nasdaq, and it comes into the downside. This is this probably lines up with it pretty damn well. I think most other pairs will confirm it. USD CAD, USD Ruble. Yeah, look for USD to outperform currencies in the near future. Dixie we showed has very low mutual info with crypto. Perfect. Okay, so if the Dixie index pumps, then no need to worry about the cryptos. Nice. So its correlation isn't likely to play out as assumed. Perfect. Do you happen to have the Dixie index for the like Nasdaq mutual info as well? That's some powerful stuff. Let's take a look at gold. SSR way outside of the band here, likely to do some sort of mean reversion in the near future. Mom kind of confirming that with a cross down now. You don't have to look, my Dixie wrecked. Likely some downside in the near term for gold. Look for the mom to cross up and the SSR to move down and then start something new afterwards. But this isn't a buy it and forget it mode. It's above the dew and the XEM is positive, so there isn't really too much to worry about if you're still holding this asset. It can move in quite a wide range down to where is it, 1675, and still be perfectly fine. In fact, that would probably be a buy down there. Okay, I can't read that out. Oh my god. All right. What else do we want to look at? Let's take a look at Musk selling his shit. Tesla, how's Tesla doing? We see entropy ticking down on Tesla, suggesting that you have a higher likelihood of your tools working. Mom is now giving you a cross up. Let's see if we can get the SSR to move up. We could be in for another Tesla pump here shortly. Kind of have to wait a little bit for these things to start turning around, give us a little bit more certainty on that move. But very nice so far. These things don't come to an end so easily, especially if you're above the bouncer. Kind of leave it and forget it mode. Let's actually take a look at the cone as well. Do we reach any sort of significant probability here? Dogman, what's going on? When stream? When stream, bro? We're below the 5%. So we are in the range of unlikely things here for Tesla. Nice. It's 0.19 for Dixie and SPY versus 0.05 with BTC. Okay, so about quadruple the mutual info than with BTC. So it affects SPY more than it does BTC. Man, that's a crazy tool you got yourself there, my friend. That's a crazy tool you got yourself. All right, so with the Dixie rally, the SPYs and I'm assuming the Nasdaqs are much more likely to be affected by that move up, as long as the due is maintained on the Dixie. Nice. Can't believe people in crypto put so much emphasis on Dixie. Yeah, it's essentially just the euro versus the US dollar. It's I mean, the basket is like 60% euro. All right, let's take a look at the US 2-year. Where's the bouncer on this? Very low. This market is getting more random. If you're trading this, your tools are much less likely to work here. Probably get some downside for the yield in the near future. Volatility is high. It could still go higher. We have to give it a little bit of time for the SMA to kind of do its thing and turn around. So far so good, but I would assume you see some downside in this in the near future, and we're probably at some sort of probability. Let's take a look at 42 bars back. Yeah, you're at the 1% probability. So if you're long on the yield right here right now, be very careful. This market is likely to get more random in the near future. Volatility is quite high and you're in quite unlikely territory. Wow, VIX and Dixie have very or sorry, not very, they have a lot of mutual information at 0.26. Oh. All right, let's take a look at NatGas. So we did end up seeing quite a lot of volatility take place as this market was moving to the upside. Same thing as in reverse. You know, you're unlikely to go higher from this point right here, right now. Probably continue cooling this. That's the one bet I would want to make on NatGas here, is probably lower volatility in the future. You're doing some sort of mean reversion on the SSR. Wait for this to play out. Wait for the volatility to cool down a bit. If you're playing this directionally, if you're just selling premium, probably a pretty good time on it. If you got to check the IV though. I haven't checked the IV on this. Yeah, probably a decent time to sell premium though. I don't think this is likely to do anything crazy in the near future. Wait for the HVZ to cool as well, and yeah, look for the start of something new. Your long calls. Good luck. Good luck. Yeah, maybe. I would want to probably wait for at least the SSR to give you a sense of what to do. You could also always take you could always go short calls at a higher strike as well. Not a financial advisor, not financial advice, but there are ways of managing options that don't exist for stocks. Or just spot, excuse me. All right, let's take a look at coin. Let's take a look at master. The usual suspects. Some downside in coin today, nothing too crazy. 1.62% down. How's the HVC? HVC quite low. We don't have too much data on this. We do have the SSR, however. Look for a start of something new soon. This is getting very low to the bottom band here. Look for the start of something new soon. Debbie spreads makes sense. How's Julia doing? Anybody watching Tasty Trade lately? All right, let's take a look at TLTs. Oh, TLT below the bouncer. Gotta check Facebook, aka Meta. Yeah, we do have to check Meta. Let's actually take a look at the yields very quickly. This was a pretty significant move up in yields, especially in the middle here on the US 5 years. We set a new kind of local high here. We still have inversion between the 20s and the 30s, which is not very good. Let me actually put this as a line. Yeah, we do have inversion between the 20s and the 30s. This would be suggesting some monetary issues, monetary problems. This is not immediately actionable per se. I know whenever they talk about Julie's constantly being interrogated by Anton, poor girl. I know they constantly talk about inversion. This is why most of the, what would you call them, observers, I guess, I don't know, fucking rookies like me and you hear about yields is when inversions happen between like the oh, there isn't that much data here. Okay, I think it's between the 5 and the 20s, or the 10 and the 20s. That then it can signal quote unquote recession in the next 6 months. That's not all the yield curve is capable of telling you. That there is quite a lot more information that you can derive from it. By no means an expert. I would suggest you check out the Alhambra investment guys on YouTube. They have a lot of great info. But usually inversions between the two would signal some sort of monetary trouble down the road. Not very good. Not very good. Overall, what can we say on TLT? HVP still rising here. HVP still rising here. Although mom is quite low down, and SSR suggesting you're starting something new. Yeah, I gotta maintain that if you're below the bouncer, is this still in a long trade here? No. Okay, as long as you're below the bouncer, not a good time to participate if you're long TLT. If this ends up figuring itself out to the upside, that's probably a better entry. We'll keep an eye on this one. Julia versus Katie. Discuss. I have not seen Katie. I gotta pay more attention to trading. Boys, all we've been looking at is fucking Twitch, okay? There are no Julias or Katies on Twitch. There are... I'm not gonna go into it. I'm gonna get in trouble. Alright. Alright, what else? What else? Let's take a look at Master. Still keeping you in this long trade. Be very careful as your R2 is expanding, mom's to the downside, SSR is doing something new, you are moving down, and you're getting more random. You probably have some further downside in this. You probably have some further downside in this. I would assume it's very similar to Bitcoin. Let's actually take a look at Bitcoin once more. Okay, the thing on this particular dump is that we're very high on the SSR, suggesting that it may not be such a crazy big move. This is also kind of why I don't want to pick a direction at this point. Yeah, like from a trading perspective, I'm just gonna be long volatility. But from a tools perspective, you do have a cross down in the positive territory on mom here on the weekly, which could suggest we have maybe a couple of weeks of downside, and then we have to reassess. On the daily, you don't have that much room for this immediate move on the SSR. It doesn't suggest that you can't see lower prices over the course of 2-3 weeks, but it does suggest that, hey, we're unlikely to go in a single candle just all the way down to like 47. By the way, if we do end up making it down to 47, that's probably a pretty fucking good buy. Right on the balance or Julu. um yeah, okay, so we're gonna, okay, this is what I'm gonna say. Look for an HVZ extreme, look for the SSR to turn back down probably soon within the next couple of days here. Look for the mom to cross up as well. That's not going to suggest any sort of immediate reversal or anything, but it's going to be a pause from this kind of behavior, because right now this is looking kind of scary with the SSR actually moving up. This could persist for another candle, 2 candles, we don't really know. Like here, I think we saw 3 candles. It got quite intense actually. Yeah, but unlikely to persist over the course of weeks, for example. Good. Powerful tools. How's Ethereum doing? Ethereum has more room to run. And the mom is attempting to give you a cross with the R squared, I think at a 0 read. Yeah, almost a 0 read on the R squared on this cross. So Ethereum has room to run to the downside as long as this persists. Shit. All right, anything else we want to look at today? Oh, how's Rivian? Fucking powerful if you're in Rivian. Holy shit. Holy shit. Yet again, proof of why you just want to hold assets. Just fucking allocate something. Yeah, from a tools perspective, we don't have much data on this, obviously, but I'm pretty upset about this one. I'm pretty upset about missing this one, especially because I was harping on this for like a fucking month before this came out, and then I missed it, so now I'm the sucker. Happens though, it happens. Can't win them all. Let's take a look at QS. QuantumScape. Escape to the quantum. Likely higher volatility in the near future. From the due perspective, it's a fucking hold. If you get to the $32 mark, that's probably a decent spot to add. Other than that, I just want to be holding something like this. I don't think we have probabilities from the cone on this. Oh yeah, we do. You got to the 1% chance here, so it was unlikely to continue. Very high volatility on the 4-hour. Probably cools this. That's the one bet I would want to make is, hey, you probably see lower volatility in the future, start something new. Probably gives you a decent buy as well. Right now, I would not be looking for an immediate long here. Let's take a look at DWAC. Whack. This is the Senior Trump holding company that holds his social media network, as far as I'm aware. Not a lot from the tools perspective. Again, if you know, if you're holding this, good for you. Yeah, quite recent. Also looks a little bit of liquid. DWAC has gone back to sleep. Let's see on a shorter time frame if we can pull any sort of data on this. Fighting with the 15-minute bouncer. Volatility quite low. you might actually get a decent setup here for a long on a 15-minute. So take that, take that with a grain of salt, just because on lower time frames, you know, it takes time for volatility to occur. Essentially, it takes time. Holding till fuck it. Okay, fair enough, man. Fair enough. That's literally how I feel about all of it. It's like, just hold it. What the fuck else are you gonna do? What the fuck else are you gonna do? All right. I think I'm gonna, if you guys don't have anything else for me to look at right now, I think I'm gonna leave it there. A little bit of a shorter stream. The thing I want to mark off here is the Bitcoin trade that I'm doing. I've inserted a little tracker here on the side of the screen. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'm going to be holding this trade for about 45 days, and I'm not going to be a boo quitter. Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to be managing it essentially. I think that we will see higher volatility in the future. I can hold it past 45 days, but I sort of just marked off this window to just give it a little bit of time. I'll update you guys as we go along here. Yeah, and I'll leave you there. Got to figure out how we can get time and some of these other shitcoin DAOs on TradingView. Yeah, we could just make a better TradingView. I think that's the play. All right. Have a really awesome Tuesday, guys. And I hope you make lots and lots of money and don't get liquidated.